Can you do hip thrust on this? I cannot find any videos or answer on this. Would love to see a demonstration video to see how low it can get. Well, absolutely. So I've already set it up to do hip thrust. At the bottom here, I have 45-pound bumper plates, these glute plates, and I'm using this as a platform to elevate my feet a bit. I know they sell platforms on Amazon you can buy that are pretty sturdy and even higher than this. I recommend you get one of those if you need the high elevation, which you do since this bar does not go that low past a certain point. And you will need a bench as well. In addition, you will also need a pad like this right here, okay? They're pretty cheap, maybe 15 bucks or so. You put it on the bar and it allows you to have a nice soft cushion for your hips to do your hip thrust with. And before I do a demonstration, I just want to make something clear. Hip thrust is a pretty fun and easy movement, but the only thing you really need to know is to keep your abdominals tight. Normally when people do this exercise, they are pretty much like just flinging their spine through the air. And one way to check is by doing a plank. And so you're in a plank position. It's the same position that you are going to be in when you're doing a hip thrust. For example, if you can see now, most people are going to be walking around with their hips back like that and their core disengaged doing this exercise. And if you I recommend you do this always, but you want your hips to be forward and your core always engaged. That way your spine is disengaged throughout the whole movement, or else that's going to cause you issues. And you can feel a lot more tension in your glutes when your core is engaged during the whole movement. And this can be applied to other exercises too. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do it on the hip thrust movement. And so once you're close to the bench, if you have a cheap bench like me, you might want to put some weight behind the bench so it doesn't slide you back, depending on how heavy you're going to go on the hip thrust. And like I said, something to elevate your feet. And all you're going to do is, that's in motion, engage your core, and then just thrust your hips up and back down. And it's always nice to pause at the top here for about 1.5 to 2 seconds. That's when your glutes are really engaged. And you can come back down for a second. Don't relax, okay? Don't do that. Keep it engaged throughout the whole movement until you are complete. Now, getting out is another problem. Not a problem, but it's, as you can see, when I do my hip thrust, I normally just stay there. And another one I want to show you is, even if you don't like the hip thrust, or if you feel like it's not enough for you, you can always do, alright, you can always perform a sumo stance squat. And basically what that entails is you're going to be having your feet spread apart like a sumo wrestler would. And again, with your core engaged, this will allow you to engage your hips a lot better, and your glutes are going to be activated the most in this position. And you're just going to come up like you would a regular squat. Hold on a second. So, feet are spread apart, core engaged, and come down, glutes engaged, and squeeze the glutes. And that's about it. Pretty much the same movement as a hip thrust, but you're squatting. An even better version, I would say, for glute activation is if you can do it one leg at a time, to where you have the one leg elevated, allowing you to go very deep into that squat position. 1 second. Like so. And same thing, core engaged, core engaged, and you're just gonna come down and come up. Normally I would have something behind me for this leg, but for the demonstration purposes, you kind of get the point, right? You come down and up. I think, in my opinion, that is the best exercise for your glutes. If you compare it to hip thrust. But yeah, try all three of them, see what works for you, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts. But until then, I will see you in the next video.